your tests. They might have you find more than one thing. Be careful that you know which thing you're supposed to be finding. So I highlighted those. And then you're supposed to draw a picture and justify your answer. So I'm going to do this one for you, and then hopefully you can get through the next three. Okay? Now, first step is definitely draw your picture. Then label your picture with the algebra expressions that go with it. Okay? So, a to b is this expression right here, 3 times the quantity x plus 7. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that out, and I'm going to put it right here on AB. Remember, AB is a distance, 2 capital letters. So this distance from A to B is 3x plus 21. I just distributed that. 3 times x, 3 times 7. From B to C, I'm going to distribute this, is 2x minus 2 times negative 3 is 6. Now the entire distance, it says, from A to C is 50. So to show that, I usually do something like this. 50. Now how are we going to use the segment addition postulate to help us find the value of x? Well, we need to set up an equation if we're going to find the value of x. And the picture tells us how to set up that equation. It says from A to B plus the distance from B to C should equal A to C. That's what the segment addition postulate says. So let's see. AB, which is 3x plus 21, plus BC, which is 2x minus 6, equals the entire distance, which is 50. Put our like terms together. So we have 3x's and 2x's, which is 5x's altogether. We have 21 minus 6. So 21 minus 6 is going to be positive 15. Right? Because 21 minus 5, right? And then minus 1 more, so we're at 15, equals 50. Now we have x's on the left. We also have a number on the left. Let's get rid of the number. How do you undo adding to 15? Well, subtract it. That leaves us with 5x equals 35. And now I have x and a number all by itself here. It's being multiplied by 5. How do you undo multiplying by 5? Well, divide by 5. And that will undo that. And 35 divided by 5 is 7. Okay, now I'm going back to the directions. Have I done what I'm supposed to do? Well, I found x, but I'm not done because I'm also supposed to find BC. So this is the first part of what I was supposed to do. The next part is find BC, so I need to plug in x right here because BC is 2x minus 6 and find BC. So 2 times 7, notice that I'm plugging in using parentheses. 2 times 7 is 14. And 14 minus 6 is 8. So BC equals 8. Now what if I did something wrong there? Like sometimes when I make these videos, I'm off in la la land and I make mistakes. Well, Easy to know. And no reason for you to ever miss it on a test, because the last part of your directions here says to justify your answer. Draw a picture and justify your answer. How do you justify your answer? It's like verifying your answer. Prove to me, prove to yourself that this is right. Well, if I plug in right here for AB, I'm going to use a different colored pen to do my justifying here. AB would equal 3 times 7 plus 21. And 3 times 7 is 21, and 21 plus 21 is 42. Okay, so now I have AB is 42, and that means this is 42, and this piece we said was 8, and 42 plus 8 had better equal 50, because that's what it's supposed to add up to. And it does. I've just verified that I did it correctly. And you should never miss that on an exam. Take the time to plug it in. So you have questions 4, 5, and 6. Now be careful with those and justify your answer. And I'm going to remind you about one thing before I just let you go on those. I'm going to remind you that to undo a squared, you take the square root. Okay? So I'm not going to solve that problem, but I do want to show you something. Let's just do something like this. 3x squared equals 21. How do you solve that? Well, the first thing you do is to get rid of the 3, divide both sides by 3. Okay? That's going to leave you with x squared equals 7. Now how do you undo the squared? Take the square root of both sides, which is going to leave you with x equals the square root of 7, really. Plus or minus square root of 7, unless you're talking about like a geometric problem where it's a distance and then the minus square root of 7 doesn't make sense because the distance can't be negative. So we're only going to use the positive square root of 7. Okay, so I just wanted to remind you about that. All right, and that'll help you with this problem here. Be sure in these you realize that you're finding x and AC, and you have to justify your answer. All right. Number 7 says, draw a picture that represents the following. So let's see, we just have some capital letters here. What does that mean? Those are points. So we want 3 points that are non-collinear. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's see, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to make it bigger. We're going to make it big. Okay, so here's A, B, and C. And I will put a line through these two. There were lots of pictures you could have come up with for this, by the way, so if you had another idea, you go for it. This is going to be A,